everybody, and welcome to the Torras AI podcast. I'm very happy today to have here with us Carles Abarca. Hi, Carles. How are you?
Hi, Jordi. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for being here with us today. Carles Abarca is now Vice President of Information Technology for the University of Technology in Monterrey, or also called the Tecnológico de Montrrey, or for short, the Tech. That's how is known, right, Carlos?
Yeah, that's how everybody knows us.
Awesome. Carlos has been also CTO for several financial institutions in Europe, such as Bank Sabadell and the TSB Bank in the UK. He has a Master of E-commerce and New Economy by the MIT and has an engineering degree of telecommunications by the UPC, the University Polytechnic in Barcelona. Thank you so much, Carlos, and welcome to our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, what are the main responsibilities of the Vice President of Information at Tecnológico de Monterrey?
Well, the fancy ones, I mean, taking care of strategic planning and how to use technology in higher education and how to combine new technologies and provide new experiences to our students. And the not so fancy ones, which is basically ensuring that everything works as intended, and we keep operating under normal parameters. And Tec de Monterrey is a huge organization. I mean, we have more than 120,000 students, which means a lot of access points and saloons and equipment. And from a cybersecurity perspective, which is also one of my responsibilities, it's quite a challenge, having kids in between 16 and 21 years old, bringing their own laptops and using our networks, and keep the institution on the safe side is I mean, it's quite a challenge.
But yeah, that has to be a challenge. I mean, we've known some universities that suffered severe security attacks in the past. So basically, for I understand, there is the kind of boring side, which is make sure everything has to work, taking care of security, and as well innovation and new stuff, right? I would like to talk to you about or with you about AI. And in particular, you have this position of being an expert in technology. You've been there for many years in industries as complex as banking and now education. What do you think is AI going to affect higher education?
Well, it's not exactly going to affect. It's already affecting, right? I mean, it's happening. I mean, it's for sure the first year after GPT, and probably we're gonna agree on something like A GPT, B GPT to describe the times before generative AI and the times we're living on now. And everybody agrees that higher education is going to be probably one of the sectors, one of the industries that is going to be more severely affected by the emergence of AI. And it is already happening indeed. I mean, since ChatGPT was launched 1 year ago, our students and our professors, our lecturers, everybody is kind of using it in a, let's say, not very formal way, but it's already happening. I mean, it's something that we are facing right now, and we're facing it from different perspectives. We need to address ethical aspects. Are we allowing our students to prepare their and to do their homework using GPT? To what extent, right? I mean, what is legit, what is not? So there are lots of challenges from an academic perspective. And then we have lots of opportunities as well. An organization like ours can benefit massively from using AI to automate some of our internal processes. I mean, the onboarding of new students, the service desk. I mean, when we're talking thousands of people, there are a long list of boring processes where using AI can speed up the response time for our students, can make the whole experience more palatable, right? So there are at least 3 dimensions where AI is important for higher education: the academic perspective, the operational perspective as well, and then the obligation or the responsibility we have with our students, because we need to prepare them for a world where AI is gonna, you know, it's gonna make the difference for people who are prepared for this new world and people who are not, and it is our responsibility to prepare our students as best.
That's right. And so, and there are many moving parts, right? And as the technology progresses, and this last year has been crazy, it's very hard to take just decisions that plan to be stay forever. You have to be flexible and trying to take the best out of that technology as you go, I'm assuming.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's amazing.
With an additional challenge, and is that, you know, when a kid comes to our university, he plans to stay 4 years at least. So we have to you know, we have to decide what are we going to teach him in advance. So yeah, I mean, combining flexibility and the need to adapt to new changes with the fact that we need to declare a formal official degree.
Absolutely. So that has arrived. So you have students in year number 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So each one will be impacted in a different way. For ones that just starting, they will remember their college under GPT realm, let's call it. For the last one, it's like, man, that's the last year, and everything changed. That is fascinating. So 1 year since ChatGPT, it's been crazy. So how have you and the tech experienced in particular ChatGPT?
What a year! What a year! I mean, it looks like ChatGPT has been with us forever, but actually it's 12 months, right? As I briefly mentioned before, ChatGPT has had a significant impact in how students, not only students, but, you know, basically how do we face intellectual work? And before ChatGPT, there was no option other than you know, sitting down in front of your laptop and vomiting whatever you were in need of. And actually, it's quite common to use ChatGPT at least as an assistant, right? To either to translate a text or to reshape something, or you give ChatGPT some ideas and it ends up producing something that it's almost final, right? So it's changing radically how we face intellectual work at this point in time. When we realized how important this will be in higher education, we decided to, well, there are always 2 options when we face radical innovation. One is denial, and the other one is, okay, so what are we going to do with that? And that's the second one. That's the option we've chosen at Tec de Monterrey, and we decided to create our own environment, let's say a safe environment for generative AI. And it was last October when we announced TechGPT, which is basically our own implementation of OpenAI Azure functionality, but we trained TechGPT with our own contents. We connected TechGPT with our knowledge databases, and now we are not just offering our students and our collaborators the possibility to use Gen AI, but we're going to use curated environments. I'm not saying here that ours is the only one model that doesn't hallucinate, but at least it hallucinates with our own data, right? Which is a little best.
That's amazing. So tech GPT, that's kind of so instead of trying to fight it, or as you said, denying something that's for sure is going to here to stay, it looks like you embrace it, right? You say, okay,
Absolutely.
let's productize that. Let's use our own data and give our I'm assuming students, teachers, there are different stakeholders that can use tech GPT with your own data.
At this point in time, TechGPT is still in beta mode. So we have 1,500 users, but the beta will disappear by end of this year. So we will start 2024 with TechGPT available for all of our collaborators. And we have 3 use cases that we will actively promote next year. The first one is our internal bot, the chat bot. It's going to be powered by TechGPT, and so our service desk is going to be powered by TechGPT, and we have great expectations. I mean, it looks good, and I've been experiencing how this new bot powered by TechGPT behaves, and it's just amazing. I mean, the kind of answers you're getting are so human and so rich and so precise, to be honest. So that's going to be the first use case that we're going to offer all of our audiences. The second one, we're working on something that we call Skill Studio. And it's a bit like the GPTs of OpenAI, right? Where you can customize your AI for a very specific task. The idea, we have more than 10,000 PhDs here at Tec de Monterrey. I mean, our professors, I mean, this is a huge university. And so as you can imagine, we have a lot of people, talented people, and we want to leverage that opportunity by offering them the opportunity to customize how are they using TechGPT and create skills, or GPTs if you use OpenAI vocabulary, right?
Yeah, that terminology was announced right after the Developers Day at OpenAI. And all the consequent drama at OpenAI that happened afterwards, right? That's been also interesting.
What a story.
Yeah, as I said, what a year, huh? And listen, so beyond the exploration of AI developments, what kind of other innovations are you guys at Tech working with?
Yeah, well, we have a quite a significant innovation department here at Tech, and it you know, this it has a long story of innovation. Even before my arrival, they were very focused on combining technology and educational experiences. At this point, we're working with AI for sure, and we're working as well with augmented reality and virtual reality, and some of our educational experiences are delivered through virtual reality experiences. We are one of the few universities in the world that are offering academic credentials through blockchain. I mean, if you are a tech student, of course, you know, at the end of you get your degree on a paper, because otherwise your parents will you know,
not know what to put on the wall, huh?
Exactly. So yeah, you're getting the paper, but in reality, the paper is nothing more than a representation of a blockchain credential certification. So that's something that we are offering to all of our students since last year. And then we're working in general in using AI for specific purposes like sentiment analysis, and you know, most of our lectures and most of our teaching experiences are hybrid. I mean, we have people who's physically attending in the classroom, and we have people who are using Zoom or Teams or Google Meet to attend the virtual classroom. And we are we're using technology to identify when we are losing their attention, right?
Oh,
When people is becoming less adamant to participate in the classroom. Of course, I mean, there are lots of challenges that we have to face to use this technology, because we cannot record video and images without consent. But we are anonymizing this information in order to be able to identify, which dynamics are more effective.
yeah.
And which dynamics are really enhancing the ability of the professor and also the students to establish a good communication and a good teaching learning experience.
Wow, that's fascinating. It's kind of is this guy paying attention kind of thing, but through AI, right? So you can see
Exactly.
which students are engaged, which ones are like, yeah, and the ones that they are not enjoying the learning experiences they should.
Actually, the next frontier for the teaching and learning process is hyper-personalization. I mean, AI gives us an opportunity that we never had before to design learning experiences per student instead of working with a classroom or with a group, right? So at the end, the ultimate objective is to make sure that each and every one of our students, they leave the university with the right skills, with the right capacities, with the right knowledge. And it's not written anywhere that you have to do that by grouping people, right? So the next frontier, and it's a frontier that it's only going to be available through AI, is to design very specific learning experiences for each one of our students. We're already in that camp, and this is going to be probably what's going to occupy most of our energies in the next 2 to 3 years.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I never thought about that, but indeed there are so many opportunities to use AI to kind of enhance the learning process. That's fantastic. Listen, let's talk a little bit about, because that's like a hot topic recently, right? About regulations, right? And I believe that for every government institution and authority, I guess they're still trying to wrap their head around what should be done in terms of regulation that provides safety without killing innovation. And now we have seen the European Union, right, basically passing the AI Act, or as somebody's calling it, the world's first AI law, right? So I'm curious to know, what is what for Europe, according to you, right? For your opinion, what is the impact that this law will have? And if you see other authorities, other countries, maybe Mexico, maybe some states in the United States, or some other areas embracing similar laws.
Yeah, well, amazingly, I've been for 22 years in C-level roles for banking industry, complaining about regulations, basically. And now I'm facing myself this peculiar situation where, in my view, we are desperately in need of a regulation.
Wow.
And why I'm saying so? Well, AI is changing a lot of things. It's changing how we interact with companies. It's changing, or it's going to change how we interact with the government and with the administration. And so we need to be clear about who holds responsibility, who's accountable. And, the end game, somebody has to be accountable for decisions, for the calls we're making. And with AI, we are at risk of a messy confusion about who has made a call and who's at the end responsible for a very specific decision. This is important in many areas. In banking industry, which was where my experience has been most of the time, a decision about a credit decision can change the life of a company or an individual
person, yeah.
If you rely entirely on an AI algorithm, well, you have to be very clear. You have to be able to explain how the decision has been made, has been taken, right? And we're not clear about it. So we definitely need the regulation. In my view, the regulation is not needed to stop innovation or to slow down innovation. I mean, I'm completely in favor of speeding up this amazing process of what is happening around AI, but at the same time, we need to have some rules of how are we gonna implement solutions and who's gonna ultimately be accountable for what AI.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that just in the example, right, for loan or credit, I mean, it's okay to use AI to speed up processes, but ultimately, we are also going to need explainability and say, hey, why did you deny my credit application? And I guess saying, I don't know, this neural network that we trained with gazillion parameters said no, and we just go along.
We have a super intelligent algorithm, so we don't know. I mean, it's much more intelligent than we are. So
we need.
If he denied your loan, he's probably right. That's not acceptable, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah, XAI or explainable AI, it's absolutely required for many different cases where you have to be able to explain how things have developed, right? So
right.
in that sense, I think regulation is strictly necessary. The European law, it's a good first step. I'm not entirely sure it covers all the bases. The United States has passed an AI Act as well, the Biden's AI Act, which is less sophisticated than the European one, but it goes more or less in the same direction. It's regulating explainability and giving powers to the administration to inspect what's going on and have the audit rights.
That's right.
We want to intervene here and there. So yeah, it's a good first step. In reality, the problem is AI is a global phenomenon. So I'm not sure local regulations will make a difference, right? We're consuming digital services from all over the world, and I'm not sure some governments will have the same level of sensitivity about AI. And recently, I mean, if and I'm sure that that's your case because you are, as I am, you are very interested in what's going on around AI and China is making very interesting developments. And part of these developments are leveraging the fact that they don't give a shit about privacy, right?
Let me not answer that question, right? But indeed, yeah. And even if you look at this AI Act, right? There's a previous law, which is GDPR. And although they're not mentioning AI, they're already talking about data, how you use data, the right to be forgotten, the right to ask for a human decision made in some cases. So I guess that's kind of probably some precedents that set some of the basis for that, which make a lot of sense.
It makes perfect sense. But the original design of GDPR was not considering because it was impossible at the time to consider what is already happening with AI, right? So the right to forget, it's not compatible with the type of usage we are doing right now to train models, right? How do you instruct a model to forget what he has learned through data, right?
That's a big question. You take a 7 billion parameter large language model trained with terabytes of text, and can you remove this one sentence from your text? I don't think they can, or they will do that.
I want to be forgotten. All right, good luck.
That's fascinating. Listen, Carlos, this is December 2023, so about to end this year that we'll all remember. And now a difficult question for you, which is, what are your predictions for 2024?
Well, there's only one right answer for that, and is nobody knows. But I'll give you my honest view. I think, despite we had a bit of controversial discussions about Gemini announcement and from Google, and the famous video that has been criticized for
Genesis and all that, right?
Being edited and not reflecting on the real performance of Gemini. Yeah, probably it's something where the marketing department has gone too far. But in connection to that, I think this 2024 is going to be the year of multimodal AI. So the first year, the interaction with AI models has been basically based on text and prompts. This year we are moving towards the next phase, and the next phase is going to be more multimodal, right? It's going to be more video, photo, voice, and text for sure. And we will see the first gadgets powered by AI, the first AI wearable devices. I mean, Humane AI has presented recently an interesting device. It's a bit primitive yet, but I'm pretty sure this 2024 many other devices will see the light, and this multimodal AI is going to be more present, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And not necessarily in portals where we are going to interact, but more integrated into our lives. I mean, AI is going to be more invisible, more multimodal, more integrated. And if you are one of these gens who are afraid of AI taking control of your life, it's a bit too late. This is going to happen wherever you want.
Amazing. I agree. That's coming. And yeah, this multimodal is absolutely fascinating. So far, if you look at large language models, they have been looking at text as if the universe was human text. But now it's like, hey, we have videos and we have pictures. So you can have an AI who starts to understand the world as it actually is, with, yes, human text, but also videos, think images of the world, and trying to find the logic on what's going on. So I can't wait to start seeing models that are able to deal with all that.
And if you combine that with the fact that we all carry on with us a lot of technology packed in our smartphones or our wearables, I mean, the amount of information, real-time information, multimodal information that we can produce and a personal AI model can process for us.
That's right.
It's amazing. I mean,
yeah. So collectively, we can have an organism, an AI with hundreds of millions of eyes, right? That hasn't existed in this planet since life came about, right? So it's going to be amazing to see all that working together.
Sure.
Carlos, I want to be respectful with your time. I think you're super busy. We're over here. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. I'm assuming, and for the ones watching this, Carles Abarca has a LinkedIn profile, right? So for you guys who want to reach out to him, you will find his profile. I'm gonna have a link to this LinkedIn profile, so you can try to get in contact. Although I know Carlos is very busy, but you will see that he has a great material over there. And Carlos, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you, Jordi. See ya.
Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.